This is a preliminary microphone test for the Cascade V57 and quite specifically to do very close miking like I am doing right now. Now the reason for this is because I'm in a room which has got a very kind of like very tight pingy type reverb in it. I also have a computer in the room and sometimes I have other things switched on in the room as well which generate a bit of noise. I'm also by a window and at varying times through the day there's various types of noises come through. So basically I've got to sit right on top of a microphone in order to try and knock all that out. Now I've tried a whole bunch of mics that I've got to hand, and this is quite possibly the best one for this particular application. Now this microphone is a traditional studio large diaphragm condenser with a cardioid pattern on it. So what I'm going to do is try it in a few different configurations and basically see which one works best. So right now I've actually got it all completely flat, so there's no shelving applied to it and there's no reduction or anything. So basically this is the microphone as is. I'm powering and amplifying it with the Saramonic Smart Rig, and then that is plugged direct into my camcorder. And the idea is to try and get the most optimum level going in without kind of like it being too low or going anywhere near zero. And the idea behind that is just simply so that when I get to post, I don't have to mess with anything, so I can just do a bunch of cuts and then export the timeline. It's effectively for really fast turnaround stuff where I'm doing like talkovers over like how-tos and such. Anyway, so once again, this is the Cascade V57 in its normal mode, and I'm a little over the first notch on the Saramonic. This is now the microphone with the bass cut switched in. The attenuator still hasn't been switched in yet. This is just the bass cut, and this is just going to give me another option to hear if the effect of the bass cut being switched in actually helps with anything, maybe like plosives and stuff. I mean, with this big kind of thick foam filter on, I'm actually reducing the plosives to a real minimum anyway, but maybe I get a bit of assistance off the bass cut, I'm not too sure. Also as well, with me being this close, I'm actually like subject to like bass proximity effects as well now. So hopefully, there may be a little bit of assistance with the bass cut there, and that's only if I was too bassy in the first place without it switched on. Okay, so once again, this is the microphone with the bass cut filter switched in, but the attenuator not switched on. This is now the microphone with the attenuator switched in, but with the bass filter switched off. And this is just hopefully to see if it may actually help with, again, with me being so close. Maybe the SPLs it'll help with, I'm not entirely sure until I listen back. And I've had to rebalance it, the input again now with the Saramonic set to thereabouts 1 3/4. So basically that extra gain there is just to compensate for the -10 dB drop at the microphone itself. Now what I'm hoping for in this particular configuration is that, like I say, it may help with SPLs and such, although it may just actually work out that the very first position is actually fine anyway. Maybe because I don't have such a bassy voice, that the bass filter doesn't matter so much, and maybe for the level that I'm at, it not having the attenuator switched in may actually be okay anyway. I may not be overloading anything at the capsule end anyway. I mean, actually, if I was overloading the capsule, I don't think anything could matter thereafter anyway, because no amount of like anything after the capsule is going to account for anything distorted at the capsule. But in my tests, it doesn't appear that I'm actually overloading it. I'm trying to keep myself like fairly restrained as well as I'm doing these, the dialogue pieces. So maybe the first position's all right. I don't know until I listen back. So once again, this is the microphone with the -10 dB applied to it, and the Saramonic set to thereabouts 1 3/4. This is now the microphone with the bass cut switched in, and also it's still in the position where it's got the attenuator switched on as well. And also again, the Saramonic is set to thereabouts 1 3/4. And again, the other thing as well that's worth mentioning, again, just to remind myself on playback, is to get these levels as optimum going in with enough dynamic range still left in it to kind of maybe mix it if I have to a little bit. But again, I don't want to be kind of like messing too much with things going in and out. I definitely don't want to be re-EQing. I definitely don't want to be like limiting or compressing, because these particular, you know, audio takes are designed to go on stuff where I've got to get it in as fast as possible, you know, or get it edited and out as fast as possible. So basically, as long as I get like, you know, the kind of best that I can going into the camera, I will just cut with that audio and not touch it. If I was doing all the production work, or if I was doing stuff where like there was money being made on it, or if I was doing stuff where I was getting a ton of YouTube's, you know, hits on it and stuff like that, then that's the time to kind of look a little bit further at kind of post-processing the audio. But, you know, I'm not making money out of this stuff. I'm most certainly not making any money out of the YouTube stuff yet. So basically, I've got to get all this kind of like at the lens, as it were, all sorted as fast as possible. Okay, so once again, this was the microphone set with the attenuator switched in, and also the bass cut switched on as well. And yeah, now what I will do, I will go to count tests and silence tests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.